What's going on, guys? This is the Fullstack bro coming at you with another video today. In today's video, we're going to be talking about should you become a developer? Now, this video is geared towards people that are looking to switch their careers, or they're a beginner and they want to learn how to code. And I'm just going to talk about why it's a good idea, some of the challenges that developers face on a day-to-day basis, and who ideally is a good fit to be a developer. Now, not everybody is a good fit for this career. Yes, there's a lot of good things about being a developer, but there's a lot of challenges that you need to be aware of before you jump into this. And some people don't have the mental capacity to do it, and that's okay. But as long as you are attempting and trying to jump into the space, doesn't necessarily mean that you're not a good fit. So I just want to be your bro and let you know what's possible. Because for me, I've been doing it for a while, right? And I'm not like 10 plus years. Okay. So I understood exactly what I wanted to do when I graduated from grammar school. Like, I wanted to become a developer. So if you're that type of person that always loved technology, this might be a good fit for you. But first and foremost, becoming a developer, why this might be a good idea, I'm gonna be honest with you. The job demand is very high. Now, depending on your area, this might be different. Depending on the market, I know that a lot of people are trying to find a job right now as a developer. The job market is very oversaturated. The reason why this is because a lot of people are taking boot camps, they're learning on their own, they're going through web tutorials online, and they're building up their portfolio and they're just applying the jobs. And this makes it harder for companies to vet through some of these applications, right? Because there's a lot of these applications are just like, hey, I built this project, or I have this experience. I have like 1 or 2 years of experience. It's inflating your experience level to where you get the job interview and you don't know half of the concepts, or you don't know the key fundamentals. And this discourages a lot of people that are trying to find a job right now. The best advice that I could give to you, if you really want to jump in as a developer, you want to find a job and start to build things, is to understand the key fundamentals. Okay, understand the key fundamentals, build projects, do a web tutorial. I don't care. Web tutorials, I have my ideas about web tutorials and my thoughts about it. I actually have an annotation on this video for you guys to look into why web tutorials are not enough. But ultimately, when it comes to building projects, understanding the key fundamentals, that's what's going to help you get a job. And also putting yourself out there to get these interviews and be rejected from these interviews. Now, you have to be confident also when doing interviews. You have to, know what you're doing. And ultimately, not a lot of people do that. Number one, fundamentals. You just don't jump into a project and think that you could build it just because you went through like an HTML tutorial. No. Understand the key fundamentals to where you could write it on your own, so you don't have to go back and forth and do context switching. Okay. And it's high in demand. This job is high in demand. You could find a job if you were to go to LinkedIn or Indeed. There's going to be jobs for it. Some of that might be remote. Some of that might be hybrid schedule where you work remotely for like a couple of days out of the week and then you have to go into the office. There are a lot of jobs out there, but the thing is that a lot of people are applying to these jobs and they don't have the right experience, and it makes it harder for companies to vet through that. So, and then also, obviously, the biggest thing why people want to jump into the space is because of the salary. The salary is very good. You could be making over 6 figures in the space if you're really good at what you do. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that you should sacrifice your happiness for the pay. A lot of people do that, and I don't think that's right. That's not a way to live. If the company that you're working for, or that you're thriving to work for, is a good company, they have a good foundation, the team is good, then that's something that you should pursue. Not just like someone who's just monotone, who's like, hey, like, can you do this job? And that's all you do. And if that's what you want to do, that's fine. I'm just saying, man, just look into it, like, I'm trying to be a good friend here. So the pay is good, but also look into the company culture before you make a decision on that. Flexibility with your time is very, very important. If you're looking for a remote opportunity and you're able to get that, that's perfect. Because now you have more availability with your time. You don't have to wake up in the morning, go to work, right? Rush hour traffic. And, once everything is done, you're just sitting there doing your thing. You're talking with coworkers, you're doing all this stuff. Then you got to go back home and deal with the same thing over and over again. If those three things are what you're looking for, you're already on the right track. If this is what you want. Another thing that I want to talk about too is the challenges. Now, before you get happy about what I just talked about in the first section, this is where a lot of people are going to fall off. Challenges with a developer, I can tell you right now, is going to be days that is going to be smooth. You're fixing bugs, you're getting things done, you're being productive. Then there's going to be days where you have to put out fires, you have to answer tough questions, you have to solve complex problems. There's going to be days where you have to spend, if you allocated 4 hours of work, you're going to be spending more than that to solve problems and get things done. And this is what the job takes. It's a lot of mental power. You have to understand this. You're sitting in front of a computer and you're coding and you're building things and you're just trying things out to solve a problem and fix a bug and try to trace where this bug is if you can't even find that. There's a lot of research that goes into this career. There's a lot of just frustration with why you can't solve this and having this feeling that you don't know what you're doing, that you're an imposter. You're going to be dealing with a lot of things. And the way to get out of that is just to submerge yourself into solving problems, building things, and just changing your mindset to where you could get anything done. And then also, continuous learning is a great thing. Developers always are learning and growing and building their tech stack and the way they go about solving problems. And this is great. But then you also have to understand that you always have to keep up to date with technology, especially if something that you're using in your project is out of date and the contributors of that project is not using it anymore. It could cause a potential risk of security breaches in your apps. If you have that mindset to where, okay, I'll just look into new things to get better and you'll have a good time with it. But if you're not key to change and you want things to stay the same, this might not be for you. You might have a bad time adapting if you're not really into that mindset. So there's a lot of competition in this field. Say, for example, if you got a job, right? You get a gig, you've been applying it everywhere, you interview, you finally get a gig. Some of the things that could deter you from this space is the amount of people that know what they're doing versus the amount of people that don't know what they're doing. And you might be frustrated with people not doing the right things, or you being critiqued a lot about how you go about writing your code and structuring things and solving problems. This might be an issue for you. If you're beating yourself up on not doing the right thing and trying to be perfect all the time, this is going to cause an issue. You're going to bring your confidence down. Just know that every single time that you're faced with a problem that you're going to get it done. And then also you're chosen out of like 1,000 people or more applicants to do this job. And once you have that mindset, it's like, you know what, I could do this. I had a bad day. I'm gonna get back on track and go for it, right? And ultimately, you can't be by yourself when you're a developer learning new things. You have to ask questions to other developers and learn from them. And then also do the same thing, teach your teammates different things as well. And there's going to be a never-ending cycle where you're going to keep getting better and better, and everybody else around you is going to get better, and they're going to look at you as an expert in a particular space. So look into those three things. It's very challenging. It is. I'm being straight with you. Like, I'm looking right in the camera. I'm telling you, there's going to be days where you're going to be like, you know what, this is dope. I like this. This is great. Then there's going to be other days where you're going to be like, nah, bro, I can't do this anymore. Like, why did you push me to get here? I already told you what you needed to do. Okay, I already gave you the blueprint. It's up to you to make that decision. Okay, so, and then the last thing here, the ultimate question: who should become a developer? Who exactly? Now, if you love technology, you love to build things, this is a career for you. All right, if you're comfortable sitting in front of a screen for 4 to 5 hours a day, this is a job for you. I honestly feel like spending an hour or two on a particular thing and then taking a break makes sense. Okay, you don't want to be sitting in front of a screen for like 10 hours and trying to get somewhere where you're just beating your brain and you're just feeling mentally fatigued. No one wants that. Okay. So if you love the code, love solving problems, you like sitting in front of a screen, building things, this might be a good fit for you. If you are passionate about technology in itself, this is another good thing for you. Having a general interest in technology, doesn't matter if it's just like AI or if it's, gaming, whatever. If you have interest in that, this might be the career for you. And also, ultimately, is not about the money. The money will always come with the experience. Okay. If you're passionate about this, you wouldn't even care about the money. Being an expert at one thing is always beneficial than being an expert in multiple things, right? Because you're not going to be 100% in any of those other categories. Focusing on one thing will bring you the money, but also you can't let the money run you. You can't let money dictate how much time and effort you're going to put into something when you're not even happy in general. And ultimately, when you're a developer, you could turn on and off your brain when it comes to work. In the beginning, that might be hard to do, but as you start working for different companies and different jobs and all that stuff, right? You're going to notice that you're going to be easily able to turn it on and turn it off. In conclusion, ultimately, I just want to say, if you want to be a developer, I'm happy for you. That's why I'm here. I'm trying to convince you this is a good career for you. But if you're just doing it for the money, you should just find something else. I'm telling you, if you're not well versed in coding, if you're not good with speaking with people, if you're not good with just being out there and coding and building things and, looking forward to every single day to solve a problem, you need to look somewhere else. Maybe become a manager if you want to. Do something else. But this won't be the career for you. At the end of the day, the decision is ultimately up to you. And if you have any more questions for me that I did not cover, let me know. Send me an email. Okay. And we could talk about it. So that's it, guys. That's the video. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Let me know in the comments whether you still want to become a developer or not and what you're doing to achieve that. I appreciate you guys, and we'll talk soon.